There's murder next Saturday.
Could that have been done if you'd been wearing a shirt?
Possibly say.
John Thor is Inspector Morse next Saturday at 7:50.
Why wait for the papers or wade through directories? If you're looking for local services or local entertainment, page your Oracle and pop into your locals.
Alan Bastard is in court defending a libel case.
I am the parliamentary advisor to the Young Ladies Recreational Association, and so naturally I wanted to find out what young ladies like to do for fun.
What did they do for fun on the night of May the 14th?
They sang Gingangooli. Why are you deliberately trying to sabotage my career?
Oh, why shouldn't I? You sabotage my career.
What career?
Shopping.
I crave the court's indulgence, my lord. My train was hijacked by irate commuters and I was taken to Cockfosters against my will.
The New Statesman, Sunday at 10 on ITV.
Sigourney Weaver is one of the guests, joining Michael Aspel in 20 minutes' time, and that's after tonight's news from ITN. It's 10 to 9, 10 to 10.
The news from ITN.
1,000 British troops to quit Gibraltar. Health Secretary says most junior doctors don't work excessive hours. The shutters go up in Kabul, but is government authority crumbling? And in the FA Cup, it's Brentford's turn to surprise. Good evening. The government is to pull 1,000 troops out of Gibraltar and close down a number of military facilities on the Rock. Details of the withdrawal have not been finalised, but the Foreign Office and the Ministry of Defence are determined to press ahead with the cutback. They believe that since Spain is now a full member of NATO and the EEC, the present garrison can no longer be justified. We'll have a report in a moment. Junior doctors are tonight furious with the Health Secretary Kenneth Clarke for saying that most of them don't work excessive hours. The British Medical Association says the government is out of touch if it thinks junior doctors aren't overworked.
Some concessions over junior doctors' hours are expected in next week's white paper on the NHS. But today, Mr. Clarke indicated that the government doesn't consider it a major problem.
Most junior doctors don't work excessive hours, but a few do, and it requires changes, really, to the way in which junior doctors have always been trained in this country if we're to get down to shorter and more reasonable hours.
Junior doctors say that's simply nonsense.
I work an average 83 hours a week. I'm in the middle of a 72-hour shift at the moment at the hospital just across the road. I was woken up twice last night. In my experience, and the experience of all junior doctors I've spoken to, we've all worked excessive hours, and most of us do work excessive hours at the moment.
Only last month, David Mellor, Mr. Clarke's deputy, incensed doctors by dismissing their claims as fishermen's tales. Labour says one doctor overworking is one too many.
Well, this is not something that can be settled by a majority vote of junior doctors, as it were. If there's a large minority working excessive hours, that's still a real scandal and a real problem for the patient who's treated by a doctor who's been on his feet for the last 36 hours.
But Mr. Clarke today did try to diffuse some of the criticism of his white paper, denying he had any plans to privatise hospitals.
No hospitals are going to leave the National Health Service, and nobody in the government has proposed that they should leave the National Health Service.
Even so, the BMA is already considering a big publicity campaign to fight the government's plans. Libby Wiener, ITN, Central London.